deceive the teddy bear are here to play. If you don't come play with us, then we will kill you.
Winter, Isaac, Ember, Jackson, and Peter were all sitting around Winter's living room. Loud music blasted from several speakers, and empty cups, wrappers, and other trash laid around the floor. Winter pulled the curtains closed as the sun set. "Oh, come on. What's wrong, Winter? Scared the neighbor boys will see you throwing the best slumber party ever?" Ember teased Winter. "More like I'm scared crazy old Lady Jenkins will see and call my parents," Winter replied, grabbing her half-empty soda. "I'm still so surprised your parents left you alone with the house," Peter said, sitting down next to her. "That's just because I'm more responsible than all of you combined." They all gasped in fake offense. Ember grabbed the pillow that was on her lap and threw it at Winter, who caught it and laughed. A sudden awkward silence filled the group. The only sound was the thumping music. Jackson cleared their throat. "Well, we can't stop now." "I don't know," Isaac stretched. "I'm getting pretty tired." "Absolutely not." Ember sat up from her position on the floor. "This night is just getting started." Ember grabbed a half-drunken beer bottle and began downing it. Winter's smile fell as she watched Ember drink, and the others all began oohing. When Ember swallowed the last drop, everyone but Winter cheered. Ember sat back down and placed the empty bottle on the ground. "Oh no, absolutely not," Winter said as she realized what Ember was doing. "Come on, it will be fun." Jackson sat down next to Ember. Peter hesitated with Winter. "Yeah, I'm not sure either." Isaac sighed, then sat down on the floor. "What the heck? We only have tonight." The rest turned to Winter and Peter. They looked at each other, then slowly sat down on the ground. "Who's first?" Ember tapped the bottle with her nails. Everyone looked at each other. Finally, Winter sighed and reached for the bottle, giving it a quick spin. Everyone watched in anticipation as it spun around and around and around, slowly stopping on Peter. Him and Winter glanced at each other, and everyone else oohed and cheered. "All right, you know the rules," Ember said excitedly, leading Winter and Peter to the nearby closet. "You have to stay inside for 7 minutes. No longer, no shorter." Both Peter and Winter were hesitant to enter the closet, but their friends pushed them inside, closing the door behind them. The small space was dark, and neither of them could see anything, but could feel each other's bodies close together. Winter reached up and felt around. When she found the light string, she pulled on it, flooding the closet with sudden light. Peter blinked a few times, then glanced down at Winter. They shuffled their feet awkwardly for a few moments. "You know, we don't have to do anything if you don't want to," Peter said shyly. Winter glanced up at him, then smiled. Isaac, Ember, and Jackson continued to drink and party as the other two stayed in the closet. They didn't bother playing any more rounds to spin the bottle, deciding to wait until Peter and Winter were done. Only 3 minutes into the game, however, they heard a painful grunt come from the closet. Jackson paused the music. They all listened closely. "Relax. I'm sure they're just having fun," Ember started, but stopped when there came a large thump. They all looked at each other. Then suddenly, without warning, the closet door flung open, and Peter fell through, crashing to the ground. Ember screamed as she noticed the blood all over his body. Winter stepped over his lifeless body, covered in his blood, holding a large knife. "Well, he's dead now," Winter said very nonchalantly. Ember screamed again and stood, backing away. "Oh, come on," Jackson laughed as they stood. "That's obviously so fake." They approached Winter, grabbing at her wrist. Their smile faltered as they studied the blood and knife. Both were very much real. Jackson felt their heart drop, but before they could react, Winter plunged the knife into them. Ember screamed once again and ran out of the room. Isaac tried to follow her, but tripped over the beer bottle. Winter let Jackson fall to the ground and moved on to Isaac. Before he could get up, Winter sat on his back, grabbing a fistful of his hair and putting the knife against his neck. She allowed him to cry out once, before slitting his throat. Ember ran to the front door. She tried opening it, but it was blocked from the outside. She turned to run somewhere else, but froze when she saw Winter standing on the other side of the hall, drenched in blood. Ember ran to the closest room, slamming the door shut behind her, holding herself against it in a futile attempt to block it closed. She felt her body shake and tears of mascara run down her cheeks. She sniffed, then paused. Something rancid and bitter filled her nose. She sniffed again, then coughed and gagged at the scent. She quickly felt around for the light switch. She found it and flicked it on. Ember felt a new and horrible type of dread fill the pit of her stomach. More tears sprang to her eyes when she saw the decaying bodies of Winter's parents, tied together, rotting, and covered in maggots. Ember let out a petrified scream. She opened the door to run out, but came face to face with Winter. She smiled, but it wasn't a pleasing gesture. The corners of her mouth curled up cruelly and a devilish glint shone in her eyes. She plunged the knife into Ember's chest. She took it out, then stabbed Ember again, then again, and again. Ember fell, dead as soon as her body hit the ground. "Good job, Winter. We're proud of you." Winter turned towards the voice. Several men and women stood in the hallway, all wearing paper bag masks. "I did good?" Winter asked. "You did amazing," one of the women said proudly as she approached Winter. "You're now officially one of us." One of the men reached out from behind him, handing a mask to the woman who stood before Winter. She took it and slowly placed it over Winter's head. "Welcome to the family." The men and women surrounded Winter, chanting. She stood proudly in the middle of them, blood dripping down her body.